obstacle course, you mentioned that, and as a way to instill some confidence, and also as a training tool for, I'm sure, a lot of different skills, because there seems to be a lot of different obstacles that they have to maneuver around. We have some video of your obstacle course that's on your family's place, your parents?
Yeah,
okay.
my dad's place, Doubletree Ranch.
Okay. Well, so show us, or tell us what
Okay, this
what
is
you
an
do
intern of mine and I. We're on young babies, and these are warm bloods from different parts of the country, and they don't know much. I mean, they've got some problems. This one here actually knows a little bit, but he's lost his confidence in jumping. And you'll see, just by jumping over all kinds of stuff and letting him know that we're just going to leave him alone and let him do his job and reward him whenever he does a good job, he's going to start enjoying jumping again, and he'll be able to take the owner back to the shows, and she'll be able to win and compete and win on him. And as you can see at first, that's a 3-year-old right there that he was kind of a whack job when I first got him, and now he's confident, he's hopping through those jumps, doing what I ask him to do, and we're not harsh on these horses, but we're going to be persistent and consistent and just keep putting pressure till we get what we want. And all of a sudden, you got a happy horse that's doing natural things. You know? A lot of these obstacles that we have are all natural because I'm too cheap to buy expensive stuff.
Hey, gotta do what you gotta do.
That's an embankment on the side of a pond that's it's pretty challenging. And usually when those horses see this kind of stuff for the first time, you can't get within 100 yards of it. And, and being optimistic and consistent, the next thing you know, you can do cool stuff like this. And
Dan takes a lot of clients over there too for lessons. And takes them to the course.
A lot of the clinic people, they're going to have to go through this stuff when they come. They won't start the first day. We'll make sure we have a lot of control first. These young babies, why can't they do fun stuff like this?
And you feel the horses do enjoy it?
Not at first. But once they get that confidence, it's like passing a major exam. You study, and when you're studying, it's just mind-boggling how complicated it is. And next thing you know, you pass the major exam and you feel empowered. And that's the way I want my horses to feel. And I don't care what level or what discipline they are. They've got to feel empowered about what they're fixing to do.
Okay. What are some of the, you said sometimes other trainers come and ask you for help too. Are you learning from other people as well?
Oh yeah, there's a couple of world-class jumping horse people that do that really, really well, the jumping stuff. And they'll run into a problem. They buy these expensive horses from overseas, and when they get over here, there's some either behavioral problems or runaways, or they're stopping at fences, and then they'll go, I don't want to deal with that. Send it to the cowboy in Round Top, let him do that. So there's some missing holes in their foundation that got skipped wherever they were started. So they know I'm going to start them right back over. I'm going to rebuild their confidence, get some body control, get them submitted, and then start, getting the program done that needs to be done. So that when they go back to that guy, now he can work his magic and put his polish on that particular horse.
Okay.
And, I want to be polished myself. So while I'm over there helping these people, I'll ask him, okay, what do I look like over this fence? What can I do to make this horse jump better? I can get him over it, but how can I get him to do it better with his knees tucked? They like for him to look a certain way over a fence, with their knees tucked even, and, things like that. They could explain it better than I could. But, I have to ride the English saddle. That's cool. I just can't seem to wear those clothes just yet.
Well, I'm looking forward to the day we bring you back on Horse Talk Live in your English studs. Maybe
Good luck with that one.
Hey,
Let's see.
You never know.
You never know. That's right.
Money talks.
Yeah, I was going to say, I bet there's some way we could get you to make that change.
For those viewers, money does talk.
Yeah, do a fashion show with Dan King.
Oh, no, that's Carrie.
All right, well, we're going to take a short break, but we have plenty more video. We're going to get to meet Troubadour, who is a special horse in the Keene family. He's a Mustang. We've had a lot of shows about Mustangs and what wonderful horses they make for people. So stick around. We'll be back with more on Horse Talk Live. Welcome back to Horse Talk Live. I'm Lizzie Iverson, and we're getting to know Kelly and Dan Keene today. They came to us from Texas. We're learning about the fact that there's more than just Western. Even though you got a cowboy hat on, you're not scared to saddle up in an English saddle.
That's right.
A saddle's a saddle.
Yeah, there you go. Or no saddle at all. We know that you can do that too. Bareback.
Yeah.
And I promised folks at home that we were going to talk about Troubadour. And he is a Mustang. We've learned a little bit about Mustangs, the adoption process, and the Extreme Mustang Makeovers, and you decided that was going to be something for you?
Yeah, that was in '08 when I decided to get a Mustang. There was 200 trainers that year that qualified for it. And we qualified. We went to, where was that in Oklahoma? Oklahoma, to pick him up. And it was funny because I'm a real bay fan. I like a good bay
I
horse.
knew I liked you for some reason.
So,
See that one behind you? That's,
it.
yeah.
oh,
your
wow.
baby?
Is that a Mustang? So I'm looking over this rail at these 25 head of horses, and Kelly goes, okay, if you had to pick one, which one would you pick? And I thought, okay, the bay with a good eye. And it was him. I mean, like, I
Really?
had 50 horses.
That is lucky.
Okay, that's chills, man. So they
It's
loaded him
computer
up,
drawn.
brought him home, and turned him out in my round pen, and we started on him. 4 days later, I rode him in the round top parade, and that was after one slam dunk. He did give me good once. He broke a couple of ribs.
Well, oh, dang.
Yeah. I started him with no bridle, so that wasn't a very smart thing to do. I thought, well, let's get experimental with a white-tailed deer here. This is like a good thing to do. So anyway, got him through the program, and our daughter Allie was 4 at the time. She fell in love with him. I mean, they became really good friends. I think he liked her better than he liked me. There's no doubt.
Definitely.
Because I was pounding on him pretty good.
Yeah.
And went to to Fort Worth to the makeover and went through the qualification classes and made the finals and ended up tied for second. And I tried to incorporate all the disciplines into my freestyle. During the whole process of that 100 days, every day was thinking about the freestyle, what I was going to do in the freestyle. That's how dedicated I wanted to make ourselves. So.
Yeah.
You have to come up with the performance, just in case.
Yeah,
You have
so-
to have
That's
something in
true,
the
yeah.
song and the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, there was no leaving him in Fort Worth. After our 4-year-old daughter said, "Look, Dad, either you come home or Troubadour does." One of the two. Yeah, because he's coming home with us. So
Yeah.
we ended up buying him, and then I turned him out for a month or two, let him kind of refreshen, and then brought him back up. And I missed a lot of steps in that training on purpose because I wanted to go to Fort Worth and win.
Yeah.
So I went back and kind of rebuilt that little guy and made it to where it was more fun for him. The first 100 days was no fun, man. I mean, he probably thought he was going to die. Yeah, we crammed him and started polishing him. And then I used him as a rope. I used him as a rope horse quite a bit. I heel on him in rope calves. He likes that. And now I use him as a demo horse. He can do tempies. I don't know if you know what that is, where you
Dressage.
change leads. Yeah.
Okay.
So he does dressage. He
Jumps.
ropes. He jumps. He can pack grandma. He can pack the kids.
Some raining. Yeah.
That's raining. Yeah.
So,
Is he a master at all of it? No, but he's really good at all of it. So, and that's one of the things that we teach in our program is how to mix it up. And there's a place for every horse, whether it's jumping or trail riding or roping or whatever the case may be. But I feel like it's important to put every discipline into him and find out where he's going to go. And I have people that
Right.
bring horses to me all the time for starting and go, look, I don't know where this horse is going to go, but you're going to find out. So we'll find out his movement and his confidence level and his work ethic, and we'll say, hey, this is going to be a rope horse or a jumping horse or a trail horse for grandma.
That's
or
cool. I
whatever the
like
case
that
may
idea.
be. So
Troubadour can do it all.
yeah.
yeah, it sounds like it. Well, we get to watch some of this video that you brought with you, so we can see Troubadour at work
Now
here.
you don't even have to ride him much. I don't get a chance, but I
How
can
old
get
is
on
he
him.
now?
He's 7 right now,
Perfect.
but you can heel on him. He's pretty good at it. I've had him to several jackpots.
Now, do you think he's just special? Do you think a lot of Mustangs are this way, really athletic and versatile?
Lizzie, I got really fortunate because this horse is a pretty decent mover, and he wants to please these days. He didn't at first. He wanted to fight me in a bad way, but both of us are so bullheaded. It took me almost a year to really get this little guy where I wanted him to, and get him to where he was going to like his job.
Yeah.
But he's bridleless right here, and I hadn't ridden this horse for about 2 or 3 months before this day, and I rode him for about 5 or 10 minutes, warmed him up, and I can just kind of hump him around and do anything I want with him. He's probably running on about 40%. If I rode him for a couple of weeks or so, he could really do some cooler stuff.
How big is he?
He is 15 hands, And he's probably the smoothest horse I think I've ever rode. And that's what's cool about those Mustangs. They've got to be smooth. Because if they're rough, they don't stay sound. If they don't stay sound, they don't survive.
There you go. That makes
So this little horse has, 5 things that domestic horses don't, or they're lacking. They have a heart, they have lungs, they have good bone, good foot,
Yeah.
and
Do you
they're
keep him
smooth.
shod or do you
No,
keep
he's barefoot. Yeah, he's barefoot all the time. When I used to practice reining, I kept sliders on his back end to get him to slide. But here's me roping a
But
dummy,
he's got the biggest heart, right?
roping a dummy bareback. Oh, he's got a huge heart. And I sometimes think he's half donkey because he'll really try you, man. He used to be really tough. But
I like a horse like that.
yeah. We
got him.
butted heads for a while. This was at the Andalusian Nationals where they asked us to come perform. This was with 120 days on him.
Really?
Yeah, he was really green. But
So how old was he at this age? When did you get him?
he was 3 when I got him, so
Okay.
he was still 3 here. I may have
No,
been.
he was 4.
No, he was 4. Yeah,
Okay.
this was 4. So, they had me come in. This was and just kind of show what this little horse can do. And then we don't have the video clip, but I did jump a lot of stuff bridleless on him. The reason I didn't bring it is because it wasn't very pretty. he kind of ran away with me,
Oh, wow.
but that's okay.
So is this something that you continue to do, these demos with him?
Yeah, and we get asked to do that pretty often for benefits and for the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo. We went out and did a deal for him. I sang the national anthem and did it on Troubadour in the back of the truck. And he loads in the back of the truck. He'll jump up there and stood up on him, sang the national anthem. Didn't even choke, but he's one of those kind that he's got all the moves. He can, I've been able to break down all 9 of his body parts and use all of them.
So tell us what you're looking for in the 9 body parts.
The 2 hips, the 2 ribs, the 2 shoulders, the 2 cheeks, and the pole.
Okay.
If you can break those down independently and use them at any speed, there's nothing you can't do with any horse.
Well, that right there is pretty dang impressive.
So he side passes on that little thing. You ought to see what he can do now. This is some old footage.
And so how long did it teach you to do that?
It didn't take that long, Lizzie. After I got him broke to ride, it probably took about 3 days. And this isn't rocket science. Anybody can teach this. It looks complicated, but it's not.
I was
And if I-
inside one day, remember, and Dan calls me and said, "You got to come out here right now with the camera." It was during the Mustang makeover, and I walk outside, and he has Troubadour in the back of the truck. I'm like, "Oh my gosh!"
You can't be scared to try anything.
I guess you're right. I unfortunately say that I probably would be scared to try it.
But this is his
Oh my
favorite
God.
deal, man. He just loves that truck. He craves it. And the reason he craves it is because when I started him, I would ride him, I'd get him really worked up, and I'd ride him on the back of the truck and take the saddle off of him and let him
There you
rest.
go.
You do that about 100 times, they will love the truck.
Back of the truck.
Yeah. You can't hardly pull him off the truck. And this is the latest little move. I taught him that right before we went to the show right there, is backing up.
Wow.
He didn't like it too much, but he took it.
Golly.
Yeah.
What a good horse.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
he's one that won't ever be sold.
Oh no.
Oh no,
Well, I don't know. Money?
No.
Yeah,
That's it.
wait, that
There's
money thing again.
Back to that money thing.
he'll never be sold.
Wow. It's
If someone
always
wants to
nice.
pay off my farm, they can have that horse.
No, you're out.
I don't know. You might
outvoted.
have to fight Kelly over that.
I'll be in an apartment somewhere paying rent.
Well, that's pretty impressive. And we got to see you doing some bridleless work. How much does that play into what some of your programs? Do you work with everybody on the bridleless?
I do. It seems like most of the horses we get in training have been ridden really handsy. So
Yeah.
that's the first thing I'll teach the horse and the people is how to get those horses to maneuver, stop, back up, move all those 9 body parts. Or well, you can't use 9 bridleless, but you can use the majority of them. And then once you get that broke down, then go back to the bridle. And it's just absolutely amazing how much more responsive and confident those horses are. I've had several people come and want to know how to ride bridleless because they've seen it done and they think it's pretty cool. And when you teach them that and they actually go do it, it puts them into a different world. They're never going to compete doing bridleless stuff. But if you can do it, you're at a different level. There's
So
just no
how do
doubt.
you know you're ready to do it though? I feel like there's a big, you have to have some trust there and a lot of confidence. Is that something anybody can accomplish?
Anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. And you start in a round pen, of course.
Okay.
And what I'll do at first is I'll put them on a really broke horse that I can dictate foot placement from the ground. And I'll give
One
them
of your horses? Okay.
I'll give them a feel of what it's supposed to feel like by turning the horse and stomping him and backing up. I mean, those are three things that all you really need.
Okay.
Left, right, back up, and what else you need. And once they get that done, then I'll help them with their horse. But we'll start out with a bridle on. And we'll eventually eliminate it, and they'll drop those reins, and they're able to steer him around in there, stopping, backing up. And then I'll take the bridle off. And all this is done in the round pen. Give them that sense of security, give that
Sure.
horse that empower, and, kind of helps me too a little bit. And then once you get that done, you go into the arena. Now you have your bridle back on. And teach them how to turn out there, stop and back up out there. Then once you get that done, speed it up. Go into the trot, then go into the lope or the canter. And it's kind of a step-by-step process. And if
Just
they,
like everything is step by step.
Yeah.
Follow the right
Sure.
steps, and then you can get to your intended result.
yeah. And if they listen and absorb it, they can
Yeah.
do it. Anybody can do it.
Okay. Well, can I volunteer as your next student
absolutely.
on learning
Right.
how to ride bridleless?
You got to wear those English pants, though.
I'll do it. I'm not scared. So unlike
Now
some
she's gonna
people,
make
I
me
know.
do it,
I
too.
know.
Oh, yeah.
We'll do it if you do it. All right. Well, we're going to take a short break. We come back. We'll find out what Dan and Kelly Keene are up to for the future, all the sort of things they've got going on, where you can find them, and be a part of Dan Keene Horsemanship. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more on Horse Talk Live. Thanks for coming back to join us for more Horse Talk Live. We're with the Keenes here today talking about what they've got going on when it comes to horsemanship. And Dan, you're involved in a lot of different disciplines, and you want to pass that knowledge on. Clinics, lessons, what do you have to offer people?
We do a lot of private stuff, Leslie, and people usually call us and kind of say, hey, we understand that you have this program that's been working, and we'd like for you to come to our barn and just do a makeover. So I'll step
Okay.
into their barn, and for a couple of days or a couple of months, however long it takes, it's just kind of rebuild the whole foundation. From there's beginners, there's intermediate, advanced, and there's pros in there. And I'll even kind of work with their trainers on how to rebuild that whole program. A lot of these horses have nothing more than just basic problems, and it's overlooked. So we'll go back and kind of rebuild the whole thing, rebuild the confidence in the people, rebuild the confidence in the horses, and establish something that's going to give them a brighter show career.
So always starting right at the beginning to
Oh, yeah.
make sure those basics are nailed down before you start fine-tuning.
Well, the high-level stuff's a piece of cake, so they need to leave that stuff alone.
Okay.
And just really stick to the basics all the time.
Okay. So people can invite you out to their barn, and you can help a handful of people, a whole barn at one time.
We can take a number. We can take from 1 to probably 20.
Okay.
We can house quite a few people.
All right.
And
what are some other clinics or ways people can work with you?
we've done some cow working clinics. Those are probably some of my favorite because
Yeah.
watching people get run over by cow just, it's kind of fun for me.
That's not right, is it?
No, but those are really cool because you get to see people come in there that have never had that kind of experience. And they don't know what it takes to take a newborn calf and put him through the process of feeding it and get it to grow up and vaccinate it and castrate it and brand it and dehorn it and do all that stuff. And then where it goes after that. So I've done week-long cow working clinics and educational programs for these people who they actually get their hands on. I kind of sit back and tell them what to do, and they do it. They vaccinate, they brand them. I teach them how to rope, and I think we saw a video clip or a picture a little while ago of, a lady roping. She never picked up a rope before, and she's roping a calf running down the lane, and now she's got to mug it down to the ground. Not that she'll ever do that, but it's a life-changing experience for them, and if I can provide that for people, that's what that's what makes me happy.
Mm-hmm. And then we mentioned people can come to your facilities and work with you privately or in a clinic.
Yep. All they got to do is just call us and say, hey, this is what we're, these are our goals, and can you help us? And so, well, absolutely. So they'll show up and stay for however long their
Yeah, we can do
bank
a few
account will
days.
allow them to, or until they're done.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
do
And
that
there,
quite often.
what would clinics at your place be like? Is it basic horsemanship? Is it discipline specific?
It's not discipline specific. Usually what I'm going to do is take the English people out of their world, and I'm going to take them and do some other stuff that they've never done before. We'll take them to the ranch and track some cows around. We'll take them and jump some creeks, jump some ditches. And once you get that done within about 2 days, then you go back to what they do, and you'd be amazed at how much more confidence their horses have, how their work ethic is higher, and they go, I never would have thought doing all that stupid redneck stuff was going to make me a better, jumper or dressage person. I work with a lot of dressage people that'll bring these horses out and just go, hey, freshen him up and go do some stuff, and then bring him back and work on his lead changes again, or work on his tempies, or work on his rollbacks with reiners or something. So, we get everything out of the box.
Okay.
You have to. Like my rope horses, when I used to tune on them, most of the tuning when I got to a certain level was not even in the roping pen. It was out of the pen. Just working on their body parts and me roping the dummy. That's all we needed. They know how to do it. Those horses know how to do the high level stuff, so why beat it up? Get them out of the box and keep them fresh doing other things. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong, including myself in the past. I learned the hard way, is you got to get out, do different things.
Well, you've mentioned so much about English and people benefiting from your cowboy style. Have you pinpointed where people have differentiated so much between English and Western, like getting started? Where does it go wrong, or how does the horse lose so much confidence in
Well,
English?
usually, like the Western people, when you start out doing something, that's what you're going to do for the rest of your life. That's just the way it is. And the English people were the same way.